Baghdad, 8th century. The city glows under the golden sun, a beacon of culture and learning in a world hungry for knowledge. Inside a majestic palace, Caliph Harun al-Rashid, the most famous ruler of the Abbasid Caliphate, sits on a golden throne, surrounded by ministers and courtiers, each vying for his attention. The palace walls are adorned with intricate calligraphy, verses from the Holy Quran rendered in flowing script, and golden lanterns that cast a warm, inviting glow. Servants move quietly, tending to the needs of the court with practiced grace. The air is filled with the scent of incense, a fragrant offering to the divine, and the soft sound of distant prayer, a constant reminder of the importance of faith. Caliph Harun al-Rashid listens intently as his ministers discuss matters of state, their voices a low hum in the vast hall. He considers their words carefully, weighing the implications of each decision. His eyes drift to the window, where the sprawling city of Baghdad stretches out before him, a vibrant and alive tapestry of human endeavor. He sees the bustling markets, the towering mosques, and the countless homes where his people live and dream. The caliph's gaze is distant, his heart heavy with the burdens of rule. He is responsible for the well-being of his people, for the security of his kingdom, and for the preservation of justice and peace. The whispers of his ministers fade into the background as he contemplates the challenges that lie ahead. He remembers the weight of his crown, a symbol of his authority, and the fleeting nature of power, a lesson learned from the rise and fall of empires. The golden throne feels heavy beneath him, a symbol of both glory and responsibility, a constant reminder of the immense task before him. He knows that true leadership requires wisdom, compassion, and a deep understanding of the human heart. In a misty graveyard, shrouded in the silence of dawn, a 16-year-old boy in simple clothes and a humble turban stands among ancient tombs, their weathered stones whispering tales of forgotten kings and queens. He speaks softly to the graves, his voice barely audible above the rustling of leaves. You once ruled the world, commanded armies, and amassed great fortunes, but the world did not set you free from the ultimate fate that awaits us all. Mist swirls around the ancient tombstones, clinging to the inscriptions like ghostly memories. The boy kneels, his head bowed in reverence, tracing the names on the stones with gentle fingers, as if trying to connect with the souls that lie beneath. His voice trembles with emotion as he recites prayers for the departed, asking Allah to grant them peace and forgiveness. He reflects on the lives once lived, the kings and scholars, the warriors and poets, now resting in silence, their earthly ambitions reduced to dust. The world, he realizes, with a profound sense of clarity, is but a temporary home, a fleeting passage on the journey to eternity. Later, the boy sits humbly among a gathering of esteemed scholars and revered saints, their faces etched with wisdom and compassion. He listens with devotion, absorbing their every word, a bright light illuminating his peaceful face, reflecting the purity of his heart. The room is filled with the gentle hum of scholarly debate, the air thick with the scent of old books and burning incense. Candles flicker, casting warm shadows on the walls, creating an atmosphere of quiet contemplation. The boy listens intently, his heart yearning for wisdom, his mind eager to grasp the profound truths being discussed. A wise elder, his eyes twinkling with knowledge and experience, shares a story of faith and sacrifice, a tale of unwavering devotion to Allah. The boy's eyes shine with understanding, a soft smile gracing his lips as he recognizes the power of selfless love and the importance of surrendering to the divine will. He enters his father's royal court, a stark contrast to the opulence and grandeur that surrounds him, his clothes dusty from his labors, a worn turban on his head, and the Holy Quran clutched firmly in his hands. Ministers whisper and mock his humble appearance, their eyes filled with disdain for his simple ways. The grand hall, usually alive with the sounds of courtly intrigue, is silent as the prince enters, his presence a challenge to the established order. Dust clings to his clothes, a testament to his dedication to honest work, but his spirit is unbroken, his faith unwavering. Ministers exchange glances, their whispers sharp and cruel, their words laced with envy and resentment. He clutches the Quran to his chest, drawing strength and solace from its sacred words, finding refuge in its timeless wisdom. The king watches from his throne, his face a mask of mixed emotions, torn between pride in his son's piety and concern for his unconventional ways. The prince raises his hand in silent prayer, his heart overflowing with love for Allah. By the will of Allah, a small bird, a creature of delicate beauty, descends from the heavens and lands gently on his palm, a sign of divine favor. The king and his court are shocked into silence, their eyes wide with disbelief and awe. A hush falls over the court, the silence broken only by the gentle fluttering of wings. The prince's prayer is silent but sincere, a heartfelt plea for guidance and mercy. Suddenly, a bird, a tiny messenger from the divine realm, flutters down from the high arches, drawn by an unseen force, guided by the hand of Allah. It lands gently on his hand, its wings still, its presence a symbol of peace and harmony. The king rises from his throne, his face etched with astonishment, humbled by the undeniable sign of divine intervention. The prince prepares to leave the palace, choosing a life of simplicity and devotion over the trappings of royalty. His mother embraces him, her heart heavy with sorrow, tears streaming down her face, and gives him a simple ring, a token of her love and a reminder of his noble heritage. He walks away slowly, carrying a small bag containing his few possessions and his beloved Quran, his only true treasures. Emotional music swells, reflecting the bittersweet nature of his departure. The palace corridors echo with the sound of his footsteps as the prince prepares to embark on his journey, leaving behind the comforts and privileges of his birthright. His mother clasps his hands, her fingers trembling with emotion, slipping a simple ring onto his finger, a symbol of their unbreakable bond. Tears glisten in her eyes, reflecting the pain of separation and the hope for his future happiness. He bows respectfully to his father, offering a silent farewell, the king struggling to hide his sorrow, his heart aching with the knowledge that his son is choosing a different path. The prince steps into the fading light of the setting sun, carrying only a small bag and his Quran, his faith his only guide. He arrives in Basra, a bustling port city far from the gilded halls of Baghdad, and begins working humbly as a laborer, embracing a life of simplicity and service. In the evenings, after a long day of hard work, he sits alone under a sprawling tree, its branches offering shade and solace, reading the Quran and praying in peace, finding contentment in his connection with Allah. Basra is a city of bustling markets and humble homes, a melting pot of cultures and traditions. The prince works quietly, his hands calloused from lifting bricks and mixing mortar, his brow glistening with sweat, but his heart is at peace, filled with gratitude for the simple blessings of life. In the evenings, as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, he finds solace beneath a great tree, its ancient roots reaching deep into the earth. He opens the Quran, reciting verses softly, his voice blending with the gentle rustling of leaves as the sun sets, casting long shadows across the land. A kind man, recognizing the prince's humility and dedication, hires him for construction work, offering him a chance to earn an honest living. As he builds quietly, his hands moving with skill and precision, the bricks seem to attach themselves, fitting perfectly into place, a subtle miracle unfolding by Allah's will, a testament to the power of faith and devotion. A kind man, touched by the prince's gentle nature and unwavering work ethic, notices the prince's dedication and offers him work, a chance to contribute to the growth of the city. The prince accepts with gratitude, never revealing his royal lineage, content to live a life of anonymity and service. As he builds, something miraculous happens, a subtle manifestation of divine grace. The bricks seem to move on their own, guided by an unseen hand, fitting perfectly into place with effortless ease. Onlookers gasp, their eyes wide with wonder, sensing a divine presence, a blessing bestowed upon this humble worker. Years pass, marked by quiet acts of kindness and unwavering devotion. The prince, now frail and aged, his body worn from years of labor, lies alone in a quiet forest, his head resting on an old piece of cloth, his face serene and peaceful. He whispers beautiful Islamic poetry about death and the hereafter, his voice a gentle murmur in the stillness of the woods, giving away his few remaining belongings, his heart emptied of all earthly attachments. He passes away peacefully, a gentle smile on his lips, his soul returning to its creator. Years pass, and the prince grows old in quiet service, his life a testament to the power of humility and faith. One evening, as the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the land, he lies beneath the trees, the forest alive with gentle breezes and the sweet melody of birdsong. He whispers poetry about the journey of the soul, the beauty of returning to Allah, the ultimate reunion with the divine. He gives away his few belongings to a passing traveler, entrusting them with his final message, his heart full of peace and contentment, knowing that he has lived a life of purpose and meaning. Back in Baghdad, the Caliph, now an old man burdened by grief and regret, receives his son's Quran and the simple ring, tokens of a life lived in devotion. He weeps deeply, overcome with grief and awe, his heart filled with remorse for not understanding his son's true calling. That night, he dreams of his son in a garden of Jannah, a paradise of unimaginable beauty, smiling and radiant, surrounded by light and peace. The prince says, "Allah has accepted me, father. My journey is complete." Back in Baghdad, the Caliph receives the Quran and the ring, delivered by a weary traveler who recounts the tale of the humble laborer who lived and died in peace. He holds them close, his hands trembling with emotion, tears streaming down his face, a mixture of sorrow and pride. The palace is silent, draped in mourning, the courtiers whispering in hushed tones about the prince who chose faith over fortune. That night, the Caliph dreams of a radiant garden, a vision of paradise beyond earthly comprehension. His son appears, dressed in white, his face glowing with divine light, surrounded by beauty and serenity. The prince smiles, his face serene and joyful, his eyes filled with love and compassion. Faith is the greatest kingdom, a treasure that transcends earthly possessions. In the end, faith is the greatest kingdom, the ultimate source of peace and fulfillment. The prince's story lives on, passed down through generations, a reminder that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the purity of the heart and the unwavering devotion to Allah.